Historically, we've been a newspaper group. About 20 years ago, we began moving that business from print to print plus online. Our online growth has been pretty spectacular. We generate about 50 million monthly unique visitors across 10 sites. Every market that we're in, we're the comScore #1 news and information site in that market. Our penetration in all of our markets from a cookie/device perspective is anywhere between 20 and 40% of the available cookies are on advanced properties in those markets. So we're really very much a regional player. However, we have national ambitions in terms of both our audience as well as creating opportunities for buyers to find value in our audience wherever they happen to be. So in our case, we're very much a local news and information site. We have a stable audience of people that come back to our sites day in and day out. We're a lot like Facebook in a certain way, in that the kind of news and information we present is very hyper relevant to a local market. We cover local news, breaking news, sports, high school sports, issues and advocacy that are sort of driving conversations in the communities we serve. But importantly, we very much cover what it means to be of the place where our business is located. So for example, some of the best content we produce, the most enjoyed content is what's the best sub in New Jersey, what's the best pizza in Michigan, what's the best po' boy in New Orleans. We have a very local audience, and as a result, we're not the kind of organization that struggles with a lot of fraudulent traffic coming into our sites. We're a very stable sort of organization. Our buyers tell us that what they like about us is that we have real people in real communities that we serve. So the conversations around transparency on the buy side don't apply as much to advanced properties as they might apply to an organization that's creating content that attracts a broad national audience that in some cases could be a very legitimate audience and in some cases could be subject to fraudulent traffic of people trying to arbitrage or leverage the content. We're very much focused on the idea of transparency from a buy-side perspective and from a sell-side perspective. We are very transparent in terms of the way we run our auctions. We use a header bidder wrapper. We expose the cookie or the device ID at the time of auction to allow an advertiser to sync with our audience. We believe very strongly that at our very best, we allow a buyer to understand in real time what impression they're buying, what the viewability on that impression is, what the page load speed on that impression is, and who the reader is, so that they can extract maximum value out of that impression. And in return, we expect that we'll receive maximum value in exchange for making that happen. We have some local advertisers who really value the kind of local market representation we provide. We have a really strong selling team across our markets. At our best, we're very consultative. We can help an advertiser understand how to achieve business goals by using typically a mix of strategies and tactics, some combination of display, video, search, social, increasingly growing branded content. But some of those buyers are beginning to use self-service platforms like Facebook, Google AdWords, the Centro-Basis platform. And we're very much open to the idea of allowing those buyers to buy into our properties through those buying channels by accepting AdX demand, by accepting Facebook Audience Network demand, and by accepting Centro Brand Exchange demand. Like everyone else, we see video as being one of the great frontiers relative to engaging audiences. We're just beginning to get ourselves organized around creating a very cohesive video strategy. We've been living in a storytelling world for a great many years. We now understand that a different kind of video storytelling away from the notion of creating companion video to a news story is valued by our audience. Our team in Alabama is doing really brilliant work around creating very branded entities that are, in some cases, sponsorship, in some cases, programmatic driven, for content that's compelling based on what people in Alabama really care about, above and beyond the daily news coverage. What's it mean to be a citizen of Alabama? What are the 10 great swimming holes in Alabama look like? What about boutique companies in Birmingham that are specializing in things like steel cut pops? You know, a boutique popsicle maker that should be in Brooklyn but is in Birmingham, and we're covering that with compelling video. So we see that as being really the next evolution of storytelling from a publisher perspective, and then creating automated monetization strategies, both local direct sold as well as programmatic, gives us the ability to work in both spheres sort of simultaneously. We see that a mix of local direct sold and programmatic will really be the driver for us going forward. Everything we do now, we're focusing on what's a primary monetization strategy and then what's an indirect or secondary monetization strategy. In some cases, the two are not balanced. In some cases, it's all programmatic. In other cases, local direct sold really makes the most sense. But at the end of the day, what we're really focused on is helping buyers buy from us in a way that's most valuable to them and that's most efficient and easy for them. We are building our entire business model from an automation perspective around trying to be easy to discover, easy to buy, being performant in terms of what we deliver to our buyers. What we are really looking for are demand sources that we can trust, that provide us with quality demand. Companies like PubMatic have been excellent in terms of giving us a really high level of input demand, and importantly, they have really a very strong support network. We have a PubMatic account manager who is just excellent. She does everything that we need to do in terms of helping us understand what we're doing efficiently within their stack and what we're not doing efficiently within their stack. We have a real sense of partnership with PubMatic and with a few of our other SSPs. Increasingly what we're doing is we're following a model where we use as much demand diversification as we can using header bidding technologies. We have a wrapper that we worked with a partner to engineer that runs as a client-side input into our ad stack. We're using AdX within Google for a server-to-server integration. We're going to integrate the Amazon server-to-server integration into our stack as well. So the way we see it, we'll have three main channels of demand coming into our stack. We look at all of them to see who's the most performant. We tend to prioritize those who are delivering the best outcomes, and we tend to deprioritize those who are delivering the least outcomes. But having said that, from our point of view, diversity is really positive. About 3 years ago, we had 300 programmatic demand sources coming in, or 300 individual buyers coming into our stack on a monthly basis. Now we have in excess of 100,000 because we've diversified the way that we accept demand into our business.